Hospital Hill Studios in Babane. These are your top stories tonight. His Majesty King Eswatini III continued to lead the nation in participating in the Little Ingwala at Butleni Royal Residence. Her Majesty, the Queen Mother, continued in leading the nation and dancing the Little Ingwala at Lutitsini Royal Residence. And the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has officially launched the MTN Eswatini Inclusivity Initiative for persons living with disability. And now the news in detail. His Majesty King Eswatini III continued to lead the nation in participating in the Little Ingwala at Butleni Royal Residence in the Hoho region.
Joining the Ingonyama on the 12th day of the Little Ingwala at Butleni Royal Residence were Emakhosikati, their Royal Highnesses, Princes and Princesses, the Prime Minister and regiments. This year's Ingwala ceremony began at Lutitsini Royal Residence 12 days ago. From Lutitsini Royal Residence, His Majesty the King moved to Ngabezweni Royal Residence, then Mbangweni in the Shiselweni region, and later Butleni, where the King is currently leading the nation in taking part in the kingdom's most sacred ceremony that has lasted for hundreds of years. The visibility of some members of the Dingaja regiment from the region was a persuasive hint that His Majesty will soon commission them to Ngabezweni Royal Residence. It is, however, not clear as to when this development will take place. Health officials were on the ground to enforce compliance with COVID-19 protocols. On the news, I'm Sandila Makanya reporting from Butleni Royal Residence in the Ho region.
Her Majesty, the Queen Mother, continued in leading the nation in dancing the Little Ingwala at Lutitsini Royal Residence.
Her Majesty the Queen Mother continues to lead regiments in dancing the Little Ingwala at Lutitsini Royal Residence following its commencement a few weeks back. The ceremony started at a brighter note and it proceeds successfully at a very high note. The nation still continues to follow all the COVID-19 precautions and regulations. Also present in dancing the Little Ingwala have been Emakhosikati to His Majesty, Bogogo Balondolozi, their Royal Highnesses, the Princes and Princesses, members of the Cabinet and councils. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia with Zweli Masuku at Lutitsini Royal Residence.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Masuku, has officially launched the MTN Eswatini Inclusivity Initiative for Persons Living with Disabilities, MTN Sisonke. Now, the launch was held at the School for the Deaf and at Matseta. Now, the Deputy Prime Minister was represented by Minister for Tourism and Environmental Authority, Moses Vilagati.
The Deputy Prime Minister, His Honorable Themba Masuku, has officially launched the MTN Sisonke project, which seeks to ensure that all vulnerable groups are able to utilize all MTN products. The Deputy Prime Minister was represented by the Minister of Tourism and Environmental Authority, Moses Vilagati. The minister says MTN Eswatini has embarked on a journey of equity, diversity and inclusion. The launch was held at School for the Deaf in Matseta.
The National Disability Unit has a portfolio which is responsible to promote, empower, mainstream and coordinate issues of disability across government sector ministries, civil society, including the Disability People's Organizations and the private sector.
MTN Eswatini's Chief Executive Officer Wandile Mjali says MTN has embarked on a new journey, Ambition 2025, which seeks to drive digital transformation for Eswatini's progress.
We are pleased to inform you that we have dedicated visual contact center line to cater for our deaf and impaired customers. The customers may contact us on 7606-1926.
Lubombo Regional Administrator Themba Msibi says MTN Sisonke is a noble initiative which will ensure that people with disabilities are afforded equal opportunities, in particular on all digital products and services.
Kufike kubonakale ukuthi benesidingo ukuthi umthethosisekelo uvele ugunyade lokuthi i-sign language nayo ibe lulwimi lolusemthethweni la kangwane.
Fotswa President extended his gratitude towards MTN Eswatini.
There is also a package leyendelwe bona bantu labadefu le ma SMSs nemadata lokwenda ukuthi babone ngoba bona vele basebenza ecingweni ngekubhala ikakhulu.
MTN Eswatini also awarded its graduates. They were being awarded with certificates for having learnt sign languages. Reporting, I am Tembelihle Makuchwa with Themba Shabangu, Matseta.
The Minister for Education, Lady Howard, urges the new members of the Eswatini Medical Christian University Board to engage in vigorous fundraising for the university to ensure that its programs run smoothly. Now, the Minister was announcing the new board members of MCU.
Minister for Education has officially announced MCU board members. Minister Lady Howard encourages the board to find means of making money as the government subvention is not enough.
Although the institution is classified as a Category A public enterprise, which receives subvention from government, I must say that the subvention is not enough to accomplish all the activities that a medical institution is supposed to undertake. I therefore urge the board here today to heed these concerns and make sure they engage in rigorous fundraising endeavors and not to only rely on the government subvention, as it is certainly not enough and will never be enough. I reveal to you the members of the board of the Eswatini Medical Christian University as the following. Reverend Dr. Absalom Muntu Dlamini, who is the chairperson of the board. Dr. Samuel Vusi Makakula is a member. Mr. Heso Nkosing Pile Hilgard Makakula is a member. Mr. Pegitemba Gama is a member. Ms. Tulsile Mlangeni, a member. Ms. Susan Modent, a member. Ms. Senzukuti Bembe, a member. And Pastor Philemon Mugabi, a member. We also have Professor Paul Seung Han Yang, who is the secretary.
The chairperson of the board, Reverend Mundu Dlamini, says the board will work with unity to achieve the desired goals.
There are goals that must be achieved, and there are values that must be kept, as we have rightfully said so. We shall not depart, and we should not depart, and we shall not depart from the objectives of the institution. We are going to work together.
Minister Howard stated that the university is working towards training medical doctors. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni Mbabane.
The Director for Health Services, Dr. Vusi Makagule, says vaccines for newborns and infants are now available in health facilities. Makagule says newborns who were not able to vaccinate will now be contacted to come and do so.
The government of Eswatini has confirmed that vaccines that protect infants and newborns from polio and TB is now available. This follows that these vaccines were out of stock for the past 4 months. The Director for Health, Dr. Vusi Makakula, says mothers of babies will be reached to bring their babies to vaccinate.
Imithi yokugoma abantwana le usually siyadiko le umfana lokugoma kona kabele kwako nalabuya emva kwemaviki lathide adojova bekusenenkingana nje encane lebeke yabakhona yakhungatha ive seyikhona noko ke lesakwenda bonke labo lokhana sibeka ngawathole tinombolo tawo sathatha sinato and sabashayela batawushayelwa ke babuye sale babuye baletha abantwana inkinga lebeyibangeloko sesicishe siyayi-addressa hulumende imithi yethu yonke siyithenga through UNICEF ngoba siyayazi i-organization yamhlabuhlangene basithungathele ake basitholela sithemba ukuthi akunawuphinza kwendeke nyalo nanyalo.
Makakula says government procures the vaccines through UNICEF as this allows the country to procure quality vaccines. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni with Muslim Konda in Babane.
Investing in the wellness of the staff is vital for a productive and a happy workplace. Now that's according to the Chief Executive Officer of SWAPCHA when the private sector was celebrating the World AIDS Day on Wednesday. Our reporter Samgal Siwakoza has more on that story.
In continuation of the World AIDS Month celebrations, on Wednesday, the Eswatini Business Coalition on HIV and AIDS SWAPCHA commemorated the World AIDS Day at the Emafini Lodge. Chief Executive Officer at SWAPCHA Tobile Dlamini says, for improved performance at workplaces, workers' wellness must be a priority.
70 said, asibengile sole semen sekhona kukhicita kahle. Nakukhicita kahle le 70, dingapha nedida uphila, si-70 siyaphila. Umndeni wakho uyaphila nelive liyaphila ngoba na ungabekisa ngimile nje lapha sami mina na ungangibuda ndakuthi abantu abambabili bacetha nesikolo but kunebantu incumbi labaphila ngothi mina ngiyasebenza.
Speaking on behalf of persons with disabilities, Nosmilo Herbs pleaded for extra support from the society.
Siyacela lo ukuthi kube bede lo ngabe ngikuphi noma ngabe ngikuphi khubateka lo velelene nako. But akube khona lokusitakala nalokuthi bakwadi ukuthi umfisha ngakuphi nguphi laba ngakulekelela ngakhona.
Tembikama from Nature unpacked this year's theme.
The agenda to address inequalities is a long-standing one. In 2015, all countries pledged to reduce inequalities within and between countries as part of the Sustainable Development Goals. This commitment has been re-emphasized in the Global AIDS Strategy 2021 to 2026 and the Political Declaration on AIDS adopted in the 2021 United Nations High-Level Meeting, which the country also participated and was applauded for the excellent work that the country has done in responding to the AIDS pandemic.
SWAPCHA then unveiled its new name, which is the Eswatini Business Health and Wellness EBH. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkel Suekoza with Fuminko Sinsinisa Babane.
The Ministry of Health encourages migrants who are on the antiretroviral treatment to visit the nearest health care centers for reassessment and medical refill before the festive holidays end. Now, this has been said by the National Art Coordinator, the Ministry of Health, Dr. Advocate Dlamini.
Ministry of Health, through the Eswatini National AIDS Program SNAP, launched the Differentiated Service Delivery Program DSD in 2014 to cater for migrants on art. The National Art Coordinator at SNAP, Dr. Advocate Dlamini, is encouraging Emaswati who are under the DSD program, especially those who live outside the country, to visit healthcare centers for reassessment and refill their medication before the festive holidays ends.
We just crafted it specifically for them that they can come and be assessed, particularly if they are virally suppressed. So we can give them medication on multiple months prescription. So we call it a differentiated service delivery. So in that way, we say that as they will be at home, we encourage them to come to our clinics so that we can assess them and refill their medication. As they come, we want to remind them, can they bring their ID, bring their ID in the form of the normal ID or even a passport, and also bring their booklet for refills with art. Then, of course, they should bring also any relevant paperwork that they have, particularly that which will reflect their viral load, if it is high or low, and so that we can see how we help them.
According to the Ministry of Health's report, 208,000 Emaswati are on art, with 67,000 under the Differentiated Service Delivery Program. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkel Swekoza with Fumenko Sinsinisam Pabane.
In a bid to keep Matapa and surrounding areas clean, the Gwaluseni constituency launched a cleanup campaign. Now, this is according to Gwaluseni Member of Parliament, Panesi Dlamini. The campaign is meant to ensure that Matapa is clean during the festive season.
The Waluseni constituency, in collaboration with Matapa Town Council, has officially launched a cleanup campaign in an effort to keep Matapa clean during this festive season. According to Waluseni Member of Parliament, Mapanisi Dlamini, community leaders are urged to ensure that they allow residents to collect waste in all the areas around Gwaluseni. Dlamini says the Ministry of Tourism provided refuse bags. Dlamini says residents of Matapa are expected to come in their numbers to clean the industrial town.
Ndicelela esiveni ngoba wonke umuntu uvumelekile andike besicelile nasemaphoyiseni ukuthi abe khona for kunaka tintfo letitsite abantu bangangena emgwaqweni babese bayalimala.
The CEO's representative Emmanuel Simelane says Emaswati are encouraged to keep the culture of cleanliness wherever they are. Simelane says the council will provide transport for the collected waste during the campaign.
Sitawuchubeka sibambisane nabo bahlonishwa tindvuna letikhona la nebuchopho nalo lunga leParliament ekuthenini lo msebenzi lo uchubeke ungemi kulomnyaka but uchubeke njalo nje sihlobise.
The campaign is expected to start at 7 a.m. on Thursday. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni in Matapa.
Right now, let's take a look at our financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news making headlines in the world of sports. Mbabane Highlanders director Ali Khomongwe says the reason why he requested for permission to register the team as a company is because it will assist the team in the near future when it comes to sponsorships, and it will also be able to meet all CAF's club licensing requirements. Our reporter Fabrice Msonera has more on that story.
Despite the current top performance by Mbabane Highlanders, where so far they are second in the M10 Premier League log, Issues surrounding the club director Ali Khomongwe and patrons on the registration of the club as a company have taken another twist. Ali Khomongwe did request to the patrons of the club some time ago to register the team as a company, which he says will benefit the club in terms of CAF licensing and getting sponsors. Khomongwe says he's so far concerned about the delay of his request.
I'm factual and I'm honest, and it's for the good reason, and it's one of the serious complaints. I don't want to work in the environment where people are not complying. Why I'm saying that is this issue of I heard that I'm threatening. I'm not threatening. The only thing that I was saying when I come there, I make sure that the team must be professional and comply so that we can complain later. And this thing of registration is one of the serious complaints. I don't want to be seen running the team and tomorrow they say that you never comply. Not even for compliance with CAF and to get sponsors.
Musa Masugu, who is the Secretary General of the patrons, in his response acknowledged that they are aware of Khomongwe's request but are asking for a little bit of time in order to fulfill his request. Masugu says there is no bad blood between the two parties, being Khomongwe and the patrons at the moment.
I'm more than ready kwakha le company even today. Otherwise you are ready.
Khomongwe, who is based in the Republic of South Africa, is represented locally by lawyer Bongani Mhluri, known to many as Banyaza. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mpabane.
The chairperson of the National Coaches Association, Anthony Mluli, says every local coach must follow the right procedures in order to be granted a license to coach any club locally. Mluli says what remains mandatory is to ensure that as a coach you are a registered member of the Coaches Association and the National Football Association.
With the MTN Premier League season still ongoing together with the National First Division, the National Coaches Association has once again reminded local coaches to follow all club licensing procedures in order to be allowed to coach for any club locally.
Register preparation coach athola license coach.
The association's chairman, Anthony Mluri, says the first step to be conducted by coach is to register as a member of the Coaches Association and proceed to be also a member of the National Football Association, where then proper academic licenses are required.
So akusiko-ke ukuthi Coaches Association ifuna kutakhela emalunga ngokuthi it's bo-coach aba-register kuyi-requirement yale club licensing.
Mhluri went on to mention that there is also requirements that are usually conducted when it comes to international coaches when they come to coach in the Kingdom of Eswatini.
So ama-aspirated coaches kude lo ngawafuni siyawafuna sonke because bayi-add i-value if they bring experience, if they bring quality coaching. But if they are below the locals, then there is no point in bringing them.
The association reported that so far some clubs are still failing to follow the requirements, where a team requires a head coach, assistant coach, goalkeeper coach and a physical coach. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mpabane.
Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, we've reached the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 here at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of our news making headlines tonight. His Majesty King Mswati III continued to lead the nation in participating in the Little Ingwala at Buhleni Royal residence. Her Majesty the Queen Mother continued in leading the nation in dancing the Little Ingwala at Lutitsini Royal residence. And the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has officially launched the MTN Eswatini Inclusivity Initiative for persons living with disability. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, we've reached the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 here at Eswatini TV. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.
Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Nine bekunene. Sithanda kubonga kakhulu kwamukelana nekusekelana lesokubona emangweni wakithi. Lo sothuthuke kakhulu etindzabeni tekweCwayana nekubandlululwa kulabane HIV. Asichubekeni singapheli manje. Sibe munye nalabaphila ne-HIV. Bethu nawo.
Sivusele kini nonke bomntanga. Sicela kubonga kakhulu endlunkulu nasemangweni.